Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Why I Need podcast. Thank you for joining us. And feel free to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Like, share, and engage us in the comment section. There's a video that has been making rounds on X that we want to discuss. It's about an automated check-in in a hotel. I think the video was recorded at one of the La Quinta hotels in Miami, and the front desk has been outsourced. So you're basically talking to someone in India over the internet. Basically, webcam and everything. You're able to see each other, but there's no physical interaction, no physical touch to the old check-in process at this La Quinta hotel. I don't think this has been rolled out. Maybe this is just a beta testing at the hotel, but it makes me wonder where we're going with technology. Not naive to how quickly we're moving with AI, how quickly we're moving with organization want to be more efficient in the way they run their businesses, and they also want to make money. And I believe making money is one of the reasons why organizations outsource jobs overseas, right? Because they want to make more money, keep more money in their pocket, because the labor cost in the US is outrageously high. And it's good because when you pay people good, when you pay people well, the people go ahead and spend money. They invest it back into your businesses by patronizing your business. But if these people don't have jobs anymore, they're not able to buy what you're selling. How are you going to keep up your profit? How are you going to keep up making money? Or maybe they're not thinking about the middle class and the lower class people in America. Maybe they're only wanting to serve the upper and the rich class. So I don't know where this is going. What's your opinion on this matter?
I mean, for me, I'm kind of surprised. Not surprised that it's happening. I'm surprised that it's already happening. I thought it will take a little bit longer for it to start happening. But for me, it doesn't really sit well with me because, like you said, if we continue to outsource all of this in quest of making more profit, in quest of being not necessarily being more efficient, maybe I don't really see efficiency where you will be talking to somebody in another country just to check in into your hotel room. Yeah, I don't really see efficiency. The help desk, the physical help desk will always beat that, 247. It will beat it hands down. There's no way the virtual check-in will compete with physical check-in. And what happens if you have problem with your room at night? Maybe you have roaches. What is going to happen? Maybe you have bugs in your room, and who do you talk to? So I think those are some of the problems that could arise from that. And like you also mentioned, if end up outsourcing all of this job, you outsource all of this job, then what happens to the people? What happens to the population? Who is going to patronize this your business? Where would they get money to do that if they do not have jobs? Yeah, I think those are some of the things that we need to begin to rethink as we are growing with this AI. Like you said, I'm not naive as well that AI is taking over, that we need to look for a way to, we need to look for things to incorporate into our businesses, to make more profits. But what happens making profit at the expense of, people, when your people do not have jobs, how would they patronize that your business? At some point, that your business is probably going to collapse because there is no person patronizing it. The virtual assistant you hire them from India, from anywhere in the world, it's not going to come down to America to patronize that business. The robots are not going to come and patronize that your business and spend money at that your hotel or that your establishment. So I think it's time that we start rethinking the whole process. Now that we haven't gone too far, I think we can really take a break and begin to rethink the whole process. Yeah, but we need to take time, rethink it, understand where we're going, and then also understand the ripple effect, and also check the cost benefit analysis, and make sure that you are not intentionally putting people away from jobs. Because when you do that, the economy is going to tank. Nobody's going to patronize that your business.
Yeah, if no one is able to afford what you're selling, you're not going to make money, and you eventually going to close down the business. And we know that businesses are in it to make money. They're not doing charity. They're not a 501c organization. They're there to make money, and they'll find ways. They'll continually review their practices to make money. And I think McDonald's were, they were, running a beta test on how you can order food without talking to an actual person. You just order the food directly from the machine, and maybe the machine will bring it out to you, or another employee will bring it out to you. But organizations are looking for ways to be more efficient. They want to make money, and they want to grow their stocks, and they'll do whatever they can to make money. We know what makes organizations money is new inventions. So there's no new inventions, they'll look for ways to save money, and outsourcing is part of it. Laying off people is part of it. That's what we've seen here in the last year and a half. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Some people have been able to find a job. Some are still out there struggling, looking for a job. Some have given up entirely on job search. And, new graduates are still not able to find a job just because all these jobs are being outsourced, just because that some employers feel like they can make more money, shipping those jobs out of the country and keeping it here, employing Americans, giving them something to be proud of. And maybe this will bring up conversations about looking for other ways for people to start making money, looking for things for people to start doing. Because how are people gonna survive if they don't have anything driving them? Would they just stay indoor every day? Maybe put them on a annual income or a monthly income, and they just go out and spend money, come back home, play video game. I believe life will be meaningless at that point, because many of us that love our job, we want to work. Yeah, we work, and we go out, we come back home, and if we're not able to do that, we'll definitely find something else to do. But eventually, you'll run out of things to do. In my opinion, you're gonna run out of things to do. So, do you just stay home and watch Netflix all day? Do you stay home, watch TV all day, and not pay attention to your life? What's gonna happen at that point?
Yeah, I agree with you. I would have said that Trump should start looking into how to reverse some of this. But I just remember that conservatives, Republicans are just pro capitalism. So they believe that there is no cap to how much somebody can make as long as you are willing. There is no cap to how much you can make. But I think that this is not going to lead us to a good destination. I think there should be some kind of, maybe, will I say regulation? Will I say a reverse from this? Because essentially we want people to be able to work. There are people that, working is therapeutic for them. There are people that not there are people, almost everybody feel this sense of responsibility when you work and earn your money. A lot of people, it's not like when you give them money, they will not appreciate it, but they will rather work for their money. And like you said, people are just going to be wasting. You wake up, you just play video game. By the end of the week or at the end of the month, the government sends you money. You wake up, you play video game, you eat, you just essentially spend your time in your house, eat and get fat and get bloated, and what will happen to life expectancy at that time? Because people will stop being active. I know there are some jobs that AI, or no matter how technology advanced we get to, that there are jobs that AI will not take away, but how many of those jobs exist, and how many people can those kind of jobs take care of? I think we still have time to really look at this and then also understand it and see what this will mean for the future. I just hope that whoever that is looking at this is not just looking at 10 years, 20 years down the line. I hope they are looking like 30 years, 50 years, 60 years down the line to see how this thing will affect the next generation, even after we might have gone, when we are no longer here, to see how it will affect the people. And don't forget that this is bad because America essentially positioned themselves as a trendsetter. Now we are seeing it in Miami. Before you know, we'll start seeing it in Hong Kong, we'll start seeing it in other developing countries. And it's even going to be worse for the developing countries because they don't even have jobs now, not to talk of if they introduce these things. And what I would say to my home country, Nigeria, I think they should start positioning themselves for this kind of, what will I say? Is it a career or a business? I think they should start positioning themselves. India is fully positioned for this. A lot of the outsourcing that happens always end up with Indians. They send almost all of these jobs to India. If you do online work, you work online or you work virtual work for any company, you see that a lot of your colleagues are from India. They have positioned themselves well enough. I think the federal government, Nigerian federal government, should invest money and begin to train people, ramp up production, begin to train people for artificial intelligence, begin to train people on ITs, various, role in IT, begin to train them, maybe data science, data analytics, project management, web dev, just programming, everything you can think of, begin to train people so that they will be able to, they will be well equipped to take on this opportunity. Because as much as we are talking, I don't think anybody is listening. I think this trend is just going to will continue like this. And like I said, the only country that is well positioned to take care of advantage of this, development is India, and they are fully, embracing it, and and they are benefiting from it.
Yeah, good point. If Nigeria wants to train its nation or to train its people to be able to take advantage of this opportunity, I believe there's still opportunities out there. It's never too late. They can invest in technology, invest in training people, and making sure they're ready to work remotely whenever that opportunity comes up. But bringing it back to the U.S., we know Republicans, they are pro-business, which is good, and regulations, it's not be afraid. They don't like regulating any businesses. They just want to make sure the businesses are able to roam freely. And I don't think they'll be able to do anything about this AI or job outsourcing at any point in time, because they want businesses to make money. They want businesses to try. If businesses continue to move jobs away, nobody will be available to pay taxes. Maybe, they'll increase the um, the business taxes to 90%. And I don't see that happening because Trump is pro business. The Republican Party is pro business. They're always looking for ways to cut taxes for businesses. So if you don't have money to fund the government, what's going to happen? People are not paying taxes. You're taking money out of the system, not putting money back in. Maybe there'll be another system they're going to develop that will make it fair and equitable for everybody. And for people that still want to have a job, that still want to work, maybe there'll be something for them to do. But I wouldn't put my hope or my trust in the Republicans to do what's right for the people. But to do what's right for the businesses, yeah, sure, they'll get it done.
Yeah. I think this is almost unrelated, but I would say that Nigeria should use this opportunity with this AI to start looking for a way to incorporate AI into our educational system. But what I essentially mean is that everything like the grading, the curriculum, I think they should start, looking for a way to remove it from the teachers, from the lecturers. I know for sure a lot of people that have been struggling to graduate. That's because the lecturers are essentially, in charge of grading their scripts. And maybe they picked up issue with the lecturer, and then the lecturers swear that they were frustrated. I met a lady when I was in school in Nigeria. I met a lady in school that was already in school for 3 years. I left the school. She was still in school. When I got here, I stayed here for 4 years before she graduated from the school. So I think, we can take advantage of this AI and start looking for a way to remove grading from the lecturers and the teachers. All they just have to do is come to the class and teach. And then the grading, I think they should look for a way to take care of it. And this is all in line with, AI, artificial intelligence, technology. The world has moved on. So I think Nigeria should be moving on. To conclude, I think maybe the government, we don't know what they have up their sleeve. Maybe they are thinking of a universal basic income. Like I said, a lot of people are not going to appreciate it. People feel this sense of responsibility when they will actually work for their money. So I think the government still have time to really rethink this. This is just one industry, hotel industry. Who knows where they would deploy this technology to, what will be happening. Like the call centers, I really found out that a lot of call centers now have not even outsourcing it to another country. They have full automated AI. Before I order pizza from Papa John's, and the machine will pick up the call. I will talk to the machine a little bit. They will transform it to human. I was surprised to be ordering pizza the other day, and the machine completed my whole order, and I was surprised. So these are some of the things. So it means that ideally, if there were people in the US handling the call center, taking your order, that job is gone. Their job is gone, and now they are back to the job market to compete with the limited jobs in the market with you or with people that don't have a job. So I think the national government they still have time to really look at this, because if everybody lose their job, how is this company going to make their money? And they still have time to make amends. And thank you for watching with us, and thank you for your support. We'll see you on the other side.